Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Steins video. Today we are checking out episode number 14, I think. I could be wrong there. The numbers are kind of getting too high now to keep track of. But yeah, we're at the absolute worst possible place we've ever been at right now. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how to fix things. Things are just mounting up worse and worse each passing episode. And yeah, we're getting to the point now where we don't know if there's a way to save Mayushi whatsoever. We have tried different ways, we have tried anything we can think of, and now really all that's left is to potentially go down drastically different routes. We can go down some sort of vengeance route, track down Moeka, just anything like that. Maybe tell the lab members what is happening. Just try to figure out a way here because things are really bad right now, and I don't know how I can see a way to come out of this. I know we have plenty of episodes to come, but this is really, really bad right now, and it's genuinely like, it's rough, and I need to know how we get out of this. So we're gonna check out this episode. Let's see what we get in this one. If you guys enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below anything. At this point, I don't know. I feel like I'm so broken every time I check out an episode of this lately because it's really just killing me each time. I love these characters so much. I've grown to love them a lot, and yeah, we're just gonna see where the wind takes us, where things go. So here we go. Steins Gate, episode 14, potentially. Let's go. Oh, we're kicking things off immediately back at the train. Oh shit, okay. Over and over, yeah, we're kind of... This is like going back to what Mayushi said at the start of episode 12 when we saw that weird nightmare state. Jeez. She's just... Anything and everything is killing her at this point. Yeah, the lines are all pointing towards her death, and that's miserable. Okabe is probably such a broken man right now. Yeah, even if they don't attack. It's like a predetermined point in time at this point. Like a canon event, if you will. Jeez, the jelly man. Is something gonna land on the car? Like, what happens here? This is the beginning of it. Jeez. So this is another attempt that he's taking. Oh my god. That's brutal. Like, why are they so desperate to kill her? Like, I get that she's no use to you as a scientist, but, like, take her along anyway. Like, I just don't get it. They're not really trying to stop us, they're just letting us run away. What, this is the will of Steins Gate? Yeah. Oh? Ooh, but what if there is? What if all those things that you've been talking about for all these years is because you sent your memories to a younger version of yourself, probably. Perhaps, I don't know. That's my theory anyway right now, because that younger version of himself that woke up and started saying all these crazy things, if that's not who he was before, then maybe he somehow sent those notions to his younger self and that changed the trajectory of his life, and he started to have these theories about all these things and talk about an organization, but because he sent it back so far in the past, maybe he doesn't really understand any of it. I don't know. That's a guess anyway. That's maybe what happens with the time leap stuff. Alright, let's see what brutal ways will kill Mayushi this time. Physically necrosis. Physically dead? Does that mean? Oh shit, we're kicking them out. Are they on the in the hallway? It didn't look like they were in the room. It looked like it was a hall. Yeah. Ah, damn. He's locked them out, of course. I mean, I get it. I get it. At this point, you've done so much, you don't know what to do. You're kind of at your breaking point. Counting down the hours. What time does everything actually go down? I can't remember, actually. Everything goes the same way. Ah, is that the message from... Yeah. Tell me later, okay. Everything is going the exact same way. Oh, we're texting her. That's cool. We're gonna tackle her head on. We'll hopefully learn some information here. Hopefully she isn't aware of what we're doing. The TV remote? Oh no. Oh, she sent a message anyway. Damn. Oh, it's too late. She already sent the message. I mean, hopefully we'll still learn some information at least. Part-time job, arc rewrite? What does that even mean? She's just saying a bunch of random words. She has no knowledge of that. But where is the IBN? Yeah, where is it? One. Ooh, you know too much. The message. Oh yeah, that is a pretty... not a small thing anyway. Someone wants to keep this knowledge? Shit. Of course they know they've hacked into you. Or you hacked into them. FB. Everything. What is FB though? Like, we still don't know. No, we are... well, maybe? I don't know. The only person it could be because of the time travel stuff. I don't think we are, because John Titor is in our world line each time messaging us. I don't think we have a second version of Okabe Rintaro. My leading theory is that it's Suzuha. She's got too much weird shit going on, and she did have that moment where... oh my god. Oh no, it's happening again. Oh, the voice acting is heartbreaking here. The desperation. And he means it. He was doing all of this for Mayushi. He was doing all of this just... they were making silly little things like humidifiers out of vacuum machines and just... nothing was serious. It feels like they just accidentally stumbled into making a time machine. Oh, the voice acting too. Oh, it's already happened. He just runs past. He doesn't even have time to mourn. Jeez. He's almost desensitized at this point. I mean, he isn't, obviously. Sorry, going back to what I was saying before, with Suzuha, she did have that moment where she's like, what parts in what he said were wrong or something like that there. I can't remember, but it was a very strange verbiage choice. If you break that, you'll never be able to save her. Oh, we can't. We know, we realize. Then what are we doing here? Oh, this poor man. Poor Ruka too. Ruka didn't have a clue what was happening there. 6:30. Is it happening soon? Kurisu? Oh shit! That's so cool! Oh, but no, it's not, because he's so broken right now and that's the only reason why. But the fact it was pointed out. Aw. There's no more Hoen Kyoma, just Okabe Rintaro. This broken man right now. Bargaining? We're at the bargaining stage of grief. Idiot. Jeez, that's a terrible thought. That's what you, yeah, that you told us that. Repeating her same words at her. Yeah, that is kind of creepy, honestly. But at least now you know it works without having to test it. So we have like an hour? 45 minutes. 40 minutes. Yeah, we gotta just quickly fix things. Aww. Oh, Kurisu. Oh, I'm so glad we're bringing someone on board, especially Kurisu. That's on me right now. Oh shit, she hit the pose! She did the eccentric laugh. Aw, she's too sweet. She's returning the favor we gave her when we would listen to her talk. Vulnerably, we would make her feel like everything was alright by doing those exact same things, and she's repeating it. That's really cool. That's nice to see. Look at that pizza. Doesn't quite top the Goofy movie pizza, but still looks good. Oh yes, we can't go any further. That's smart. We're going back to the point where it's created. Yes, we have a little more time. Okay. Are you just cocky that you know that you created it? Yeah. You're like, yeah, I know it worked. Confident, yeah. Banana. Gel nana. My fork? Oh shit, we're just... New Christmas present idea. My fork. I already have my spoon. Oh, that's what she's thinking about right now. It's very touching. No more of this Christina. Call her by her name. Now I know that Komima is not a person. We're playing it cool this time. Has she still noticed something's up? What does she notice this time? Because we were kind of playing it cool. We're done! Yippee! Wow, just immediately not wasting any time? Yeah, that was! Okay, we're playing it off. Isn't this just like right below the lab or right next to the lab? So wouldn't this be an obvious place to go to? I time leaped. Oh. I wouldn't say anything that illogical, that's crazy. Say my fork. Oh, come on, don't say that. What the hell? My fork. Oh, shit. That's so funny. She almost glitched out there. That's crazy. Sure does. Oh, the really sweet smile. Suzu has listening. Oh, Suzu knows. She knows we're from 5 hours in the future. What's she gonna do with that? A rounder. Cause and effect. Yep, cause and then, yep. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, it's like there is no cause and there is no effect. Jeez, she's born to die? That's crazy. Yeah, like this is a set point in time. Jeez. That's true. Think back. Go back to the point where you tell Moeka and don't tell Moeka.
待って、短絡的に答えを出すのは危険よ。
しかし、
マキセ・クリスの言う通りだよ。
Oh shit, Suzuha.
あなた、
Hello.
何か知ってるの？
It's nice to see you. Are you finally going to share some of your future information with
マ
us?
シンがなければ解決するなんて簡単なものじゃない。世界を救うにはたどり着かなきゃいけないんだ。ダイバージェンス 1% の
The 1% divergence barrier, we've heard about that before. Didn't John Titor tell us about that? John Titor? And look who's telling us
そ
again.
の数値を指し示す唯一の手がかりがこのダイバージェンスメーター。
Those are the numbers like in that look, the Nixie tubes when we actually are crossing
作ったのは岡部
into a new world line. That's cool.
君は世
Okabe
界
made
線を
it.
移動した時、前の世界線の記憶を持ち続ける力がある。
Ah.
それを利用して未来の君が前の世界線と今の世界線がどれくらい違うのかを
That's
数値化するメーター
cool.
を
That's
作ったんだ。
really cool. Do the order of the numbers tell us anything, or is it just the number itself? How many numbers?
このロープは一見一本だけど、
Yo, you just
実
broke
際に
in.
はいくつもの細い糸が集まって作られている。この糸が世界線。一つ一つが干渉し合うことはないけど、
So world lines aren't like their own thing. World lines travel around something.
すべてがマユリの死という結果に向かってる。
What's the word for that? Is there a word for
世
it?
界線が大きく変動して、今いるアルファ世界線から 1% を超えてベータ世界線へ移動すると別の結果となる。
A 1% barrier. So they gotta change something really drastically. Like, is the satellite crashing the 1% barrier that spats Okabe into this world line in the first place? So did that create a beta timeline or something like that? I don't know.
本来行き来することは不可能なんだ。D メールやタイムリープで過去改変を行っても移ることはできない。ただし、世界に大きな事件が起きて、その選択によって未来が変わる世界線の分岐点のような年がいくつかある。
What are these
最
events?
近だと湾岸戦争が起きた1991年、2000年問題があった2000年、そしてタイムマシンが開発された2010
Ah.
年。分岐が起きるときなら、アルファ世界線からベータ世界線への移動が可能になるんだ。
どうやって移動するんだ？方法は？
待って。その前に、
What's the deal
あ
with
な
the
たの正
satellite?
体を教えて。
Tell us your name. My name is Daughter of Daru. I don't know.
これは。
タイムマシン。
Oh shit!
2036
I knew
年から
it!
来たんだ。
I knew you were from the future. That's crazy
私はタイムト
though.
ラベラー、ジョン・タイターだよ。
The confirmation! Holy shit! Oh, I knew it! I knew it! Oh, I knew she was John Titor. Is she John Titor? Is she actually John Titor? It's so funny too because at the start of the series I thought Okabe was John Titor, and then over time I was like, this Suzuha girl, like, she's definitely from the future. And there's something weird going on there. And yeah, I knew it. I knew she had to be John Titor. I wasn't confident, but like, come on. That's really cool. And that was episode 14, I believe. I still don't know the number. Let me see. Episode number 14 of Steins Gate. This is an episode that really kind of filled me with hope. I know that we kind of started the episode in a really depressing way. We started it in almost like the lowest low we've been in yet, where we get a montage, a showcase of all these different ways Okabe has been trying to save Mayushi, and just the acknowledgement that no matter what we do, what we try, nothing ever works out and she dies anyway. And it's really sad to know that despite all of his best intentions, all of his best efforts, nothing can ever change the irrefutable fact that she is destined to die. And he recognizes that it's almost like it's fate. And to be Okabe Rintaro, like, to put yourself in his position, you have to be really strong, both mentally and like physically, because you're going to be repeating these same moments over and over and over again, and you can't like let that psych you out of the potential that you could maybe save her, and the fact that you could create a potential world line where you save her. And also, like, how many times have you done this? Like, does that affect your body perhaps because you haven't eaten, you haven't probably drank anything, any water? Like, how does that work physically for you? Like, it's probably taking a huge toll regardless in both ways. And so Kabe Rintaro is just an absolute honest to God madman that he is able to put himself through this insanity. You know, insanity being repeating these same things over and over again and hoping for different results. But it just feels like there has to be a chance. Like, maybe that's my insanity speaking. Maybe I would also be trying to repeat this over and over and over again, thinking, well, things have to change eventually. Hopefully at some point things will be different. But it's made almost abundantly clear here that there's no hope. There's no chance of changing a single thing here. And she is gone, and that's that. That's the real sad reality and truth, seemingly, of what happens here within this episode. Or at least at the opening section, the opening montage of this episode, because as the episode goes on, we do get a little more hope. We get to learn a little bit of information. We learn some more things that could potentially save us, help us in the future. And I think that knowing all of this can really help us in the future. So after that, Okabe sets up a plan where he kind of does what I thought he would do, where he maybe goes a vengeance route. But instead of actually trying to take down Moeka, he tricks her into dropping her guard, lowering her guard, and taking her gun from her and asking questions. We want to learn. We want to ask questions. Regardless of what happens, so long as we can get back to this machine, to time leap again to the past, we can actually learn something that will help us in a future attempt. That's maybe what he was thinking here anyway. And yet again, we use another future gadget here. We use the one that works as a TV remote, from what I recall in episode probably 1, honestly. I think it was episode 1 where we learned about it. But yeah, this episode was a really interesting one in the sense that it brought us to Okabe's lowest, especially after all of this stuff. But it also brought us to a point where we can be hopeful. We can hope for better things to come. We can hope for a change in the future. And I would love to see that. I hope that the rest of the series continues to build upon that. And hopefully we will get to a point where we can change things. I think that, you know, going back to the whole going after Moeka thing, I think that the most heart-wrenching moment in this series, probably so far for me, was watching him in the back of the car begging, screaming. You know, the voice acting was incredible here because I really felt the pain that he was going through, where he was begging, please don't do it. I will do anything. I'm so sorry. I wish I didn't do it. If you just give me a chance, I'll make it up to you. You know, he's literally bargaining and he's begging and he's screaming from the top of his lungs, just please let Mayushi live. She has nothing to do with this. She is innocent. She is completely separate from all of this. It is kind of made more obvious than ever that they kind of accidentally made a time machine. Like, when you think about it, the other future gadgets that they have created, a TV remote made out of a little toy space gun, humidifier made out of a vacuum machine, I can't remember what it is, but the lightsaber thing, right, the red light, like everything has been so clearly just silly little gadgets, silly little creations, while Okabe Rintaro puts on this facade, this front of being a mad scientist just to keep Mayushi around, keep her safe and keep her happy. Like, it feels like everything he's done has been for her, and now that she is taken away and we realize, like, we really did create something huge accidentally. It feels like we're too far gone now, and it's almost like we need to somehow find a way to change that. And to find a way to change that, I don't know if that's going to be our World Line Beta type moment where we change it, but yeah, something's going to have to happen. And it seems like maybe that World Line Beta could be what happened in episode 1. Kurisu was killed, seemingly by I don't know who. No indication of who it was. And a satellite potentially could have crashed into the building. I don't know though, because we did see the building on top of... We did see the satellite on top of the building. But regardless, it could mean that Okabe was also killed in that building in those moments. And that could be what saves Mayushi. Both Kurisu and Okabe dying. I don't know. I just know we're probably going to return to that moment in time. I can't imagine episode 1 was meaningless. I know that there has to be meaning behind it, especially with how confusing it was. But right now, all I can throw out are kind of bullshit theories as to what that could mean. Moeka reveals she is a rounder. She says a bunch of other really weird shit. Like, let me see if I can find the one that maybe confused me the most. Part-time job arc rewrite. It's almost like she is telling us when we ask who she is, that she is telling us that she has taken on a part-time job where she is here to rewrite some sort of future. And who knows, maybe Okabe Rintaro from the future is the one masterminding all of this to change something. I don't know. Maybe it's someone else entirely. Like, it's really hard to tell what it is that's changing this, who is controlling everything, who is masterminding this future barrel. Like, I don't know. And then she tells us why they're carrying this all out. They're carrying this out because of 3 reasons. The first being that we know too much, the second being that we created a time machine, and the third being that we were going to publicly release and reveal that time machine. Whether it's CERN or FB does not want that to come to fruition. They don't want that information out there, and they are stopping us for those 3 different reasons. And for those 3 different reasons, Mayushi dies, and we are captured. The rest of us are captured, the 3 of us. And then it's just also like heartbreaking to see the scene where Okabe runs past Mayushi, almost like he's recognized, okay, there's nothing I can do here now, just straight to the next attempt. Because it not that he's desensitized, but it feels like he's becoming desensitized to it. Like, he's becoming familiar with this sort of scene. Like, this is normal, like a new normal. It's really just sad to think about. Okabe goes to break the time loop machine, but he realizes himself, like, I can't do that. If I do that, that ruins all potential chance of me saving Mayushi, and that's obviously not something we want. We want and we need to save her. That is our goal. That is what we are working towards now for the rest of the series, presumably. And that clues Kurisu in. I think that something weird is going on here. Something strange is happening, because in this point of time for Kurisu, they've just agreed that they're not going to do the time loop machine experiment, and that they're going to celebrate with pizza, and that Okabe is going to go to the shop and get food. That's where they're at. And so to see this all happen, it's very strange. But then, you know, he goes and runs to Ruka's, and poor Ruka is just there completely stunned, unsure of what is happening, just completely like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm sorry, I wish I could help, sort of thing. I feel so sorry for her in this situation, because she really just seems completely shocked and confused and just all of that. And yeah, poor Ruka. But then we do get the moment where Okabe tells Kurisu, and I think it's perfect, because this is exactly what we needed. We needed someone else on board. And as Kurisu says, Mayushi is my dear friend too. I also want to save her. So, like, the more people we bring on board, the better our chances. Maybe, unless we tell someone who will spill the beans and ruin our chances. But as far as it seems right now, like, telling Kurisu is the best thing we could have done, because Kurisu is smart, Kurisu can think of things, and Kurisu can potentially figure something out here. And it is also really touching to see the moment where she becomes a mad scientist for Okabe's sake, in the same way that he became a mad scientist in that moment where she was vulnerable for him. Like, it's really touching. It's really nice, because he was at a very low state right here, and she did really help him come out of that. And that handshake and her helping him up in those moments with the symbolism of reaching out and grabbing hold of her hand was very touching. It was very beautiful. And so we send ourselves back 5 hours in the future this time, with the keyword of my fork. And yeah, it's cool to see that we're going back as far as possible. We are going back to just before this thing was finished, and we are going to come up with a plan. We're going to tell Kurisu we'll have 5 hours this time to come up with a bigger, better plan. And yeah, I think that it's such a fun idea that we're bringing Kurisu on board, and she is our new ride or die in this. Like, she's going to be someone who we can really rely on and help us in this situation. And so we do just that. But of course, Kurisu's like, yeah, that doesn't sound like me. That's not real. You're full of shit. And that's when Okabe has to drop the thing you want right now is my fork. And she is so embarrassed, and she almost like glitches out in the way she's animated, where she is like, I can't believe 5 hours for me 5 hours from the future, me would tell you that. That is such a betrayal. But she does seem to come around to the idea of like, wow, I knew that it would work. My time machine is perfect. Of course it is. It was me that made it. You know, I love her confidence. And we do see that Suzuha has been listening in on this. And that's very important for the end of this episode, because Suzuha is someone that I have been theorizing for a very long time now is from the future. And we obviously learn at the end of this episode that that is the truth. But seeing her listen in on this, it's cluing us in that, okay, she's going to be a part of what comes next. Then Kurisu comes up with this whole theory about there has to be a cause and effect. Whatever the cause is, we don't know what it is, but if we can figure it out, we can alter the effect being Mayushi's death. So they need to figure out the point in time which led to this moment in time, and they need to try to change that. And Okabe is a little on the fence about it. He's like, we don't know if that's going to actually help at all, but Suzuha bursts in essentially and is like, no, she's right. And this is huge coming from Suzuha to say Makise Kurisu is right, because we know that she hates Kurisu, so to admit this is a pretty huge thing. And we see them kind of put their differences aside, and they're not bickering, they're not arguing, they're not throwing mean words at one another. They're just simply existing alongside each other, listening to what Suzuha has to say, and coming up with a way to save Mayushi, hopefully in the future. And now we know that to save the world, we have to reach World Line Beta. We don't have to save the cheerleader to save the world. We got to reach World Line Beta. And maybe saving the cheerleader will actually do that. Who knows? Okay, I'm done bullshitting around here. But yeah, it's nice to know that we have this information now. This is new information to us. We now know all of this stuff that we didn't know before. And yeah, Suzuha, finally, I'm so glad you're finally stepping up and telling us stuff, because it has been so frustrating at times just just theorizing that you know something that you're not sharing. And finally, we get that information. We know that your father is probably also Daru. Like, come on. But yeah, we need to cross the 1% divergence barrier. And to do that, we need to make a huge change. We need to change the divergence number, because that is our only clue. The divergence number can tell us just how different things are in this timeline. And I don't know how the numbers indicate that just yet, but I suspect we will learn. And these numbers are indicated through Dixie tubes. And this device, the divergence meter, was created by Rintaro Okabe. And he created this so that he could tell where he was, because he is traveling so much and he needs to know which world line he's in, what has changed, what is different, just all of this. And I think that it's really cool to learn that this device is a literal working device that works very well to tell us something very important, like where we are. And it'll be cool to see how we use this going forward and how we can actually read the numbers. And then that is when Suzuha does share with us that the whole world line stuff, it's not that the world lines split off entirely all the time. They did split off at different points during the Gulf War, during Y2K, when a time machine was created, and also something in the future in a few years or something, and world lines branch off of those moments. But otherwise, world lines just loop around, they spiral, and they never touch each other around single points in time. Actual literal canon events, if you will, to use, you know, terminology from other pop culture. This seems to be something, and I don't know if this canon event is Mayushi's death, or there's something else that comes after this that is equally important. But whatever it is, every world line spiraling around this, it seems like there are certain predetermined moments in time, and one of those predetermined moments in time is Mayushi's death, and there are other things. So maybe when Moeka is saying Mayushi is the one who died, whoever she's talking to, it's letting them know the world line that they are in is still spiraling around this world set. I don't know, like this set of world lines. And so we need to change something drastically. I don't know what we're going to change, but my theory is that this satellite is relevant or something anyway, because this satellite is something huge, because it's actual literal time travel happening. And so at this point, we just kind of work towards the end of the episode where we find out and we realize and we learn that the satellite has been a time machine all along, because this satellite has been a point of contention this whole time. Nobody knows what this satellite is. Everyone's talking about it. The news doesn't know where it came from. And now we know that it came here because it crash landed from the future. It came from 2036, I think the year was, to now. And Suzuha traveled in that time in the time machine, creating World Line Beta in her universe or her timeline or something like that. I don't know. But why she's here, we still don't know exactly. But she came with a time machine. And we learn that she is actually John Titor. A huge revelation that recontextualizes a lot of information within the series and makes certain things make a lot of sense. And it's very exciting for me because I did theorize that she was John Titor a while ago. And I was saying it several times within this episode because John Titor kept coming up. And yeah, great episode. This was a really great episode, and I have so much hope now going forward that with Suzuha and with Kurisu on board, we can change the future. We can change things and save Mayushi's life. I hope we get to see that. I suspect that things will not go our way for a while, maybe because we do have still like what 10-ish episodes left. I don't actually know how many episodes there are, but yeah, this is a great one, and I hope that you guys enjoyed because I am probably going to wrap this one up. And if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know how shook you were when this revelation was dropped. Yeah, and that's going to do it for me for today. I hope that you guys are having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.